what we are going to be talking a little bit about in this one. I'm just going to start off by saying congratulations to everybody in the Less Trades, More Profits community. I've shown you guys some pretty disgusting trades this week, last week, the week before that, and all of the prior weeks over here. I mean, that Kohl's trade over 6,000%, the D-Nut trade over 3,000%. We're going to be covering some of those, just kind of the ideas behind them in this stream here. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking a lot about a lot of your other favorite names here as well. Hims is making a really, really solid move today. We're going to be talking about that. I believe Neo is still looking really good here as well, up about 3%. We got a couple other things we got to talk about here too, ladies and gentlemen. I did make a little bit of a mistake and had this stream as like an unlisted one first and then a public one. So, team, it is that time of day again. Say good morning to somebody in the live chat. If you guys would like to say good morning to me, would love to receive some good mornings over here. If you guys are new to the group, new to the stream, let me know. I'd love to welcome you guys in here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys are hitting that like button on the way in. It costs you absolutely nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot, spreading these streams out to as many people who actually want to learn. I just keep coming out here and showing you guys, like, this is the way that we operate in the market is the way that you should be going into the market every single day, every single week. And the results speak for themselves. I mean, all of these multi-thousand percenters over the last few weeks here, multi-hundred percenters, people really making some significant gains, guys. So let's see, no slacking on the like button. We've got a 150 like goal on the stream. Let's see if we can hit it. But let's do a little bit of a roll call here, see who we have in here, and let's start getting going. We got Eddie, Daily Taylor, we've got Gene, we've got Rogue, Jay, David, Jerry, Caesar, Alex. Hello. What is AMD? Is it relative to AMC? Okay, I'm gonna no. Just you get one word there. You just get no. All right. You just get no. No. But all right, folks. Let's kind of get into it over here. We got the market looking interesting. Nothing too crazy on the macro front. Really over the next few days here, I'm probably going to go a little bit more risk off. Again, obviously, after tonight, we're going to be looking a lot more at those post-earnings setups here, but we do have FOMC next week. We have that trade deadline coming up in the beginning of August that it's being hinted at that they might extend it again. I believe we just got another trade deal with Japan overnight. But in general, with earnings season, there's going to be a lot of choppiness. The market is going to be bracing for a lot of these moves, which is why we're going to be focusing a lot more on that post-earnings strategy there. So, RKT, yeah, I want to leave this up here quick. Hold on. RKT, yeah, well, this one, that's a topping candle there, so that's not necessarily one that you want to be in, but I gave this one to the group again at right around, the first entry was like 1166, the second one was around 12. So you guys are up a very significant amount on that one so far. So congratulations to everybody that's been in the group. But let's first start talking about that D-Nut trade. So this is one that we talked about with you guys in the stream yesterday. So this is the one, remember yesterday, where I was like 50 likes on the stream. I'll talk about what the next one is. And it ended up being D-Nut. So when we were talking about this one on the stream yesterday, it was trading in that 350 to 360 range. My entry on this thing was about 347. This is a name that we had been hunting over the last few weeks here as a really solid potential breakout candidate. Now, over the last couple of days and a little bit last week, I wasn't really as interested in this one anymore. And the reason for that was because it was starting to consolidate down below this 10 exponential moving average. But then what did we see kind of last week and coming into this week? We saw Wall Street Bets starting to pump these names. Again, they're doing their typical nonsense. Like, more retail traders, guys, are going to lose money in this type of environment with all of these stocks firing off like crazy than make money. And I'll show you guys here exactly how I traded D-Nut in a second. But if you think about, okay, you have a giant group of traders that really don't know what they're doing, and they're just going to throw money at these high short interest names. And then you're going to give me a setup like D-Nut here, breaking a trend off of the lows, forming a really solid bullish setup anyway. And we were looking at this one regardless of what was happening on social media here. Well, that's going to be one that we absolutely need to pay attention to. The breakout area that I outlined for the Less Trades, More Profits community was 347, 348. So I think the alert was actually like 348, but like it was, once it hit, it was 347, 348. And that's where I was able to take my position. Now, yesterday, we were off to a really strong start, and I was outlining, and I think I talked about this with you guys in the stream here too, that the first good take profit area on this one could be about 457. So we had a really strong close on this one, and then what happened in the after hours? We saw an absolutely meteoric rise over $5 there. It just started absolutely skyrocketing. Now, you guys have heard me say many times in the past, when it relates to trading, you don't buy gap ups, you sell them. I've said this so many times, and this is like one of the main things. Like, guys, trading and operating in the market is not difficult if you can just get slightly away from the way that people are typically going to operate. Like chasing, doing all sorts of nonsense, following all the garbage that you see on social media, because quite honestly, nobody has actually any idea what they're talking about. I understand I look young. I'm 26. I've been doing this stuff since I was 14. I've been doing this stuff for a very long time. So a lot of that's going to come with experience, but that's why I do these streams and these videos and have this group for you guys, so that you can learn these things faster. So when we saw that big move up, I sold half of the position right around, I think it was over $5, right around $5. Then it started ripping up even higher, and I was like, no, get me out of this. This is the market. It was up like an extra $1.50, I think. Like, it was up at like $5.50, $5.60 in the after hours yesterday. And to me, it didn't make any sense to continue holding that, because it's already making the move that I wanted to see it make. If the market is going to come out here and give me free money, I'm going to take it. You know? Now, on the other side, though, a lot of you guys with the options, and I saw, let's see, your account is down 99% since 2020. Keanu, again, this is, I just like, you found the right place finally. Like, this is, if you just listen to the concepts that I teach and the things that we do here, you have such a higher likelihood of success. Like, you guys in LTMP that are in the live chat right now, you can just talk about, if you want to talk about your experience with me on the trading side and the long-term investing side, I mean, it's very highly reviewed for a reason. But going back to this, it's like, after I like talked about this in the Instagram and TikTok videos, I tweeted this out too when the stock was trading in the 350s. It's like everybody's just going to be late on it. And like the point of those videos was to show you guys what's possible with the way that I operate in the market. The less trades, more profits methodology. Every single trade that I outline for everybody has the ability to run multi-hundred and multi-thousands of %. That's why you see me being able to show these types of results so often. So, like, when you look at something like D-Nut here too, and you see this crazy move, what most people are going to say is, oh my God, I'm going to keep holding this thing because it's going to continue rocketing. Not me. And this is why getting these really solid entries is so important, and not chasing. Like, I would never go for one, like Open. I made a video about Open on Twitter and Instagram when the stock was trading in the $4. Where's it now? $2.32. So you sold? If you followed me on Twitter, if you're in the group, or if you follow me on Instagram, there was an Instagram story, there was a tweet, and I also told everybody in the group that in the after hours yesterday when this thing was running, I was out. I was like, no more. Give me my money. You made $2,800 on the D-Nut trade with call options. There you go. There you go. That's awesome. So again, I don't know how many more times you guys that are on the sidelines here need to see me call out the most disgusting trades in the market. But like I said last week, after the really solid 600% trade on Roblox, I'm going to keep doing this. It's not going to stop. It just isn't going to stop. But the way the market is looking right now, these types of results that you guys are seeing, I mean, I can just look in the chat right now just to see in the community gain section. Where is it? 1,694% on DNUT, 1,441% on DNUT, 47% on DNUT shares, which is epic. 1,000% on DNUT, 1,100 or 1,200% on DNUT. Kim, 3,600% on DNUT. That means for every $1,000 you have in the trade, that turns into about $37,000. That's insanity. And so when you guys hear me sometimes, like earlier this week when I'm sitting on these streams here with trying DraftKings and Apple, When I say that the outcome of one individual trade is meaningless to me, this is a perfect example of that. Because the way that we operate in the market, that's so different than a lot of these other people who try and scalp for pennies day trading, which they don't have an edge. They're not going to be able to repeat these results over time, is that like you don't need very many of these trades that I hand out in order to have a lot of success. Like think about that, like we could talk about the Coles 6,000% or the D-Nut 3,000%. That means that if you are trading with the same amount of risk, you need 36, or what is it, 3,600%? Yeah, 36 trades in a row to go to zero. And you'll just be at break even. I'm not going to say that that's not going to happen because anything in the market is possible, but that is so highly unlikely. And that's why everybody's able to have so much success. C. Rich says, I've been trading since 2017, never been more confident and consistent than I have being in LTMP this year. C. Rich, that is awesome. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw, the link is pinned to the top of the live chat, but I'm going to throw it in the, these freaking little gnats, dude. I don't know how they're really annoying me. I'm blaming the maintenance people because this did not happen before them. But so here's the link. Use code July. Your first month is literally $1 a day. 50% off for your first month. I make it so accessible for you guys to come in and learn. You've really like no excuse for not being able to nail these types of trades. Now, with that being said, in September, the prices of the group is increasing. But if you jump in before that price increase, then you're going to be good to go. Now, for those of you guys that are joining from Twitter, where I was talking about, we're going to be talking about the next big squeeze. So you gotta pay attention to what I said there. If you're chasing the next big one, you definitely don't want to miss this. So there's a lot of people out there right now that are going to be looking for the next Open, the next D-Nut, the next Coles, the next GoPro. And I'll tell you right now, it's over. This squeeze thing that we're seeing right now, I think it's over. Here's why. You saw things like Open Rip. There was a little bit of a thesis behind it. There was an activist coming in. That was kind of the big one. Each sequential move is going to be a little bit smaller. You saw GoPro fire, you saw Coles fire, and you saw D-Nut fire. Now, I want you to think about it like this. Do you really think people are actually making money with those? I don't think they are. You guys that pay attention to like where I like to get entries and the entries there, yeah, you guys are all making stupid amounts of money because you're getting in before everybody else. Again, guys, the key is finding stocks that are about to explode before they do. That's what I do for everybody. But then you have a stock like this moving, Mullen, up 12% today, and at one point I think it was up 40%. This is garbage. The fact that people are now allocating capital into this name is kind of showing me now that it's over. When they start to get spread this thin and going for nonsense like this, it's a sign to me that it's kind of done. It's kind of over. Now, maybe there will be one or two more that fire off, but those will pretty much fire off out of nowhere. You're not going to see the craziness that we just saw. And this is the cardinal sin that most people will make. They're going to see all of these crazy gains being made from the people in my group, from people on social media. But a lot of what's going to happen is they're going to over allocate to these potential new ones because they're hearing something on social media. Guys, you got to realize 99% of the people that are talking on social media, especially on TikTok and Instagram, have legitimately no idea what they're talking about as it relates to financial markets. Zero. Nothing. They have no idea what they're talking about. I saw some guy talking about Open Door. He was up $100,000, and then I was like, oh yeah, no. I made a video saying it was going to tank. The stock was trading at $4, and it's now down at $2.35. Round tripped the entire gains and bought all the way back down. These are not serious people. John says, just joined yesterday and I've been in the Discord. Of all the talking heads on YouTube, this guy and his group is a real deal. If you're watching him now, you're serious about making money. John, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, and I'm never gonna like sugarcoat things for you guys or like come out here and be like, oh, hype nonsense. No, we can trade those names like a D-Nut or something. But like I said, I think I said it this morning. on Twitter. I was like, if you thought me handing out Dina at 347 was great, you're not allowed to be mad when I call the short on it over the next few days. They're just trades. That's all they are. So Dina over here, what's it doing? Down at 480. So this one, in terms of a parabolic short, I wouldn't really look at this yet, just because it's had like basically 1-2 days of moving significantly to the upside. I would need to see a little bit more out of this. I think Open kind of did it. The problem that I had with looking for that parabolic short setup on Open was that it wasn't gapping over these highs. That was my issue with it. It did have a significant gap yesterday, but it wasn't one that was like, yeah, that's parabolic. But usually on these parabolic shorts, like the best example of this is MicroStrategy last year when this thing was going up, 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 parabolic move. You can see that nice gap up, the break of the bottom side of the 5-minute opening range, and you can murder this thing back down. $30 to try. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, I try to give again, like people in my position could charge a lot more. Like I could probably like charge like thousands of dollars for like one-time fee for you guys to hop in. I don't, because like I want to make sure that everybody has like, because the market's not that difficult. People love to overcomplicate it and do stupid things, and they end up losing money. This takes me a lot of time to do with you guys, which is why there's a fee anyway. But it's very, very accessible for everybody. And if you're not in there, especially after what I've shown all of you guys this week, I wouldn't expect to have that much success in the market over the long run, because everything you've ever wanted out of the market has been right in front of you the whole time. Especially now that we're getting into the later half of this week too, with post-earnings coming up. I don't think you guys are fully ready for what we're about to do during earnings season. It's going to be ridiculous. So now let's talk about a couple of these other names here. Neo, let's see where this one's looking. I mean, looking pretty good here. Up 2.5%. The one thing you got to be worried about with Neo and the rollout of the Onvo L90 is obviously, like last time, they had some issues in the delivery process with getting these vehicles to purchasers. I would hope, again, it's a bad word in finance and trading in the market, but I would hope that they have figured that out. And they're better at this process of actually rolling out the vehicles on this newer brand. But being priced, I think it's like 25% lower than the LII8, a lot of pre-orders. I mean, it's looking good, and that's one of the main reasons why this thing is moving significantly to the upside. Let's check Palantir over here. I mean, it's still consolidating on top of the 10. This one, though, there's not really much to do with this. Like, this is another one that I outlined for you guys at in the teens. So that's another thing I do for you guys in the group as well. Like I have between like 5 and 10 really, really solid A+ long-term investment ideas every single year. And I outlined for those for you guys in the group. One of the best ones was actually Philip Morris at 95. That was a really good one. Palantir in the teens, Hood in the teens. What else? Sofi at 655. That was a great one. Yeah, Randy, I get it. Yeah, it's either like people want to have success in the market or they don't at this point. Like, I don't know how much more you need to see. Like, the gains are ridiculous. I've never seen, and I've said this before, I've never seen a group of retail traders have this amount of success, ever. But Palantir, again, it's the one you kind of just watch here. There's not really much to do with it. But HIMS is starting to break out here. This is one that I outlined for you guys on this, or we've talked about this in the videos, I think. This might be on the watch list too, but it's not one that I'm really all that interested in. I mean, the break level today that hit on the private stream this morning was 53.24-ish. The reason I didn't like this one is the option chain is so bloated that the stock, again, in order to get up to this level that I liked around 65, would make about a 20% move, but the options would only double. That's not a really great risk to reward profile for me to really want to be going for this. You know, like it's just not like shares trade, sure, but like, you know, it's just not there. What's up with Wendy's? That's a Wall Street Bets pump. And everybody's losing money now. This is not one that you want to go for. 95% of traders fail because they just cannot think differently. Right, and you don't have to think that differently. Like, the stuff that I do, like, I know it. You would assume that, like, oh, look, he's calling out these like multi-1,000% trades all the time. It must be complicated. It's like, no. It's actually really, really, really simple what we're looking for in the market. And especially you new people that have hopped in, you can probably attest to this the most, especially at the, like that joined this week. Like you go through the curriculum videos, it's simple, right? Like how simple is it actually? And you can see it play out over and over and over and over again. So, what else? AMD, how are we looking here? My baby, that's looking good. The option chain being bloated, it has to do with implied volatility. So HIMS has a really, really large trading range. So what the market is then going to do is it's going to price that into the option chain. If you think about the Black-Scholes model, one of the main components of it is implied volatility. So if the stock is basically showing you that it can move a lot more in a short period of time, then the options market is going to reflect that because the market is expecting a larger move. Think about it like if a stock is at 90. Let's say I own a stock at 90. This is a good example of this. I own a stock at 90. And you want to buy from me an option to basically, so you're going to own the right but not have the obligation to buy 100 shares at 100 by the expiration date. Let's say it's a weekly. Now, if the stock on average moves, okay, all right, fine, we'll stay with 90. Let's say on average the stock moves 10% in a day. Versus another example where the stock only moves 2% in a day. Well, I'm going to charge you more to buy that option from me because the odds of me getting exercise on that one or the stock running through that area are going to be higher than if the stock typically would trade in a tighter range. Would it be better if it consolidated in a tighter range? Not necessarily, because it's looking back. Like HIMS is a stock that can make 100% moves in like 3 weeks. So like in general, the option chain is going to be very bloated on something like HIMS or on coin or on Tesla sometimes. Like it just, or what else is a good one? HIMS is a pretty good example of it. Can I look at IOVA? Of course I can. And then, yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream here, make sure you guys drop a like on it. Costs you nothing to do it, but it helps me out a whole lot. We have a 150 like goal on the stream today. We might be able to get up there. But this is another one. Like the entry on this one here, guys, is, I mean, you don't even really have one. Like kind of you could make the argument for this 250 area. But this goes back to everything that I talk about all the time with chasing. And DNUT is actually a great example of this. Like, would you rather buy where I outline things for you guys, like at these lower levels down here and have really tight risk, or do you want to buy it after it already runs? You know? Yeah, win more, exactly. The main reason I would say it's I run my group very differently than other groups out there. And I would say that's the main reason why everybody's able to have so much success, because I force you to learn it. Because in order to have success in the market, you have to understand the exact reasons why you're entering, how you're going to manage the trade when you're in it, and when and why you're going to exit. Yeah, and it's biotech. You know? But you guys aren't going to see this anywhere else. You really aren't. You really aren't. This is the best way to operate in the market, and I'm going to continue to show you guys each and every day just how filthy this stuff actually is. I'm just like, I don't know how many more of them you want to see. I told you guys last week. I literally, you could go back to one of the streams last week, and I said, all right, for those of you guys that aren't hopping in, this is going to be real tough for you because I'm going to come out at some point next week just on the stream and be like, look what we did. Like, and yesterday was Cole's 6,000%, and today was you guys selling those options on DNUT over 3,000%. A lot of you guys had longer dated, so those were up like 1,500%, 1,600%, which is still, you're turning $1,000 into 16,000. Wait, no. Yeah. Yes, I think. Hold on. Did I miss that math? Yes, 16,000. Which is insane results. I know it sounds crazy. YouTube literally demonetized me like a month and a half ago for talking about these crazy games. They're like, it's unrealistic, or it's not, like, it's unrealistic. I go, yeah, maybe just because they can't do it or they don't think it's possible doesn't mean that it's not. And I show you guys the results all the time. It's not like I'm talking out of my you-know-what here. Let's see. Welcome, Gabby, to the group. There you go. All right. Enough of me ranting. Start talking about some tickers. Again, if you guys have any questions about investing, trading, the market in general right now, that's what I'm here for. I want you guys to have a place to come to actually get this understanding. There isn't really much new on the macro front. This is interesting here. Economists at I actually want to read this. Economists at Deutsche Bank did back of the envelope math, attempting to remove Powell as fit. Oh no, I don't really care about this actually. I thought it was something else. I thought it was something else on like short end of the yield curve issuance. And it's a repeatable process over and over again. For the 12 months I've been doing it, get off the sidelines. You won't regret it. Romeo, appreciate you, buddy. Romeo, you know what's actually kind of funny? I think you've crushed. I mean, there's been so many crazy games, so I might have just missed your name in there. But you're typically the one that nails these for like the big multi-thousands of percent. And I think everybody else got to have a turn this time. Ooh, welcome Method Man to the group. There you go, man. Yeah, welcome guys. So here's the other thing. I'm sending all of you guys that are hopping into the group right now to the Start Here page. It is absolutely critical that you go through the learning curriculum videos in the Swing Kings course. If you are completely unfamiliar with options, go to the Day Trading Mastery course, watch the options video in there that explain to you kind of the in-depths of what options are. Other than that though, take the time to go through the course curriculum videos, ask me questions if you're confused, and you guys are going to be right along with everybody else. Have I looked into crypto? Like, are you talking about today? Or are you talking about like in general? Like what's Bitcoin looking at right here? Yeah, so I did tweet when Bitcoin was losing this area here that it might be over, and if it does invalidate below this range here, you're probably coming back to around 112,000. As of right now, though, I mean, you are forming kind of still a pretty nasty bullish daily setup here that if you can break above this 120,950 area, you might get a pretty big burst to the upside. If you guys remember the Instagram and TikTok video that I made on this day here with Bitcoin breaking out, that if we broke this 110,650 area that we were going to run to 120K, you are setting up something similar in here, but I don't know if it's going to be as good. That's kind of how you want to look at crypto right now. But yeah, welcome everybody to the group. You guys have finally found, again, the right place to come in and learn how to operate in the market. Why won't AMC squeeze? Dude, I looked at that chart last night and I was like, are you kidding me right now? If this did not have earnings coming up, I would actually be looking at this. Which is silly, but I would. It is a pretty nasty setup here, but again, it has earnings coming up. TMO hit. Yeah, where is it? Nah, I mean, I don't really like this one. Again, it's Thermo Fisher. No, it didn't. It's 487.95 is that top of the 5-minute opening range. That's that area that you would want to look for, but I don't think I'd be touching this one. Yeah, and D-Nut right back down, like kind of we expected today. This is the exact reason why I was selling in the after hours yesterday. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, oh my God, how did you know? Like, how did I know that this thing was going to come crashing down today after the highs? Well, I didn't, but the market in general, guys, is all about probabilities in thinking about what the next most likely outcome actually is. Only hit that one for 675%. Oh, only hit a 675% trade. Oh, poor you, Romeo. I'm kidding. Would have thought that was impossible when I was scalping for 6%, losing your account. There you go. Telling you guys. swing trading over day trading all day long. But it's like, oh, how did I know? Like, don't. And I actually was looking at this yesterday, like, this might be the one that I sell early and it just continues. But my experience in the market is going to tell me that if I see a move like this, it gaps or it starts ripping in the after hours. Again, the market is handing me free money. I'd be silly not to take it. That's why they demonetized me? No. It literally was. Like, I could see the videos that they were flagging, and it was live streams where just in the title it said 1,000% gains incoming. That's why they demonetized me. And then I tweeted at them on Twitter, on X yesterday, and I was like, hey guys, you demonetized me for this, but here are all of the 1,000% gains from literally just like the last 2 weeks. You got wrecked on 725 SOUN call options. Well, it's probably because you didn't really know what you're doing there. So here was the entry on Soon that we kind of outlined, and this actually wouldn't have worked. I don't know when you bought this, but this is not a chart that you want to go long on. So this is a software company, but I want to show you guys this too. So you actually could have caught this base right here. So this was actually what we were looking at. It was coming, forming a base, bouncing off the 200, consolidating, broke to the upside, came right back down. You would have been out of that one. But here's another one, BBAI. This is not a name that I like, that I really want to be trading, but when you guys brought me this chart here back at the end of June, I was like, you know, this is actually a pretty good looking long setup here at around this $4.40 area for a breakout, and I know a lot of you guys nailed this one. I didn't touch this. It's just not one that I want. And that's the thing, like, that's the beautiful thing about what we do in the group. It's like, well, I'm not going to be in all of them. You're just not scamming the way they like you to. Fair. Like, I'm not going to be in all of them, but it's the skills that you guys build in there that are important, that you're able to execute these and understand, okay, if I want to allocate some risk to this, the outcome of one individual trade is meaningless, because even if SOUN didn't play out, well, this one did, and this one would have run probably, like, I don't know what the options would have done, but like the risk reward on the shares trade was absolutely ridiculous. You bought on Friday on SOUN. So, see, Jerry, I mean, here's what it really comes down to. It comes down to and this is where, like, I just am brutally honest with everybody. It just comes down to the fact that you just don't know what you're doing. And that's fine. That's okay. The problem then becomes, this is where, and this is why, we're going to talk, I'll get there. It's just you don't know what you're doing. The problem is that if you think you know what you're doing, that's when you lose a bunch of money. So this is exactly why I don't screw around with biotech stocks. I don't know what I'm doing in the biotech space. Not because of the charts. I can analyze the charts for you guys all day long. The problem is I have no edge in my understanding of, like, the FDA approval process, what these drugs do, what their use cases are, what different things the revenues that they could generate from this, their markets. I just don't have that edge. So it'd be very arrogant of me to go into the biotech space and just assume, because I can analyze a chart like crazy, that I'm then going to be able to go have success in the biotech space because of all of the craziness coming out. You have to know when the FDA approval dates are, all of the different drugs. There's so many different variables that you have to account for that I just like to stay away from. Do you buy outright stock for a swing trade? On Dina, I did, but usually I'm trading options. On Dina, I had shares. And also, for all of you guys that are hopping into the group right now, in order to get into the Discord, all you have to do is connect your Discord account to your WAP account, and then you guys are good to go. You were betting on an AI catalyst? Yep. So again, that is not something that I would ever do in the market. Just join the group. See Jerry? Awesome. Awesome. So again, first things first, go through those learning curriculum videos and ask me questions. That's what I'm here for. The other thing is too, and I do have to say this, not every day or every week is going to be like DNUT. But every trade that I outline for everybody does have the potential to go crazy. Over the next few days, this is going to be a great time for a lot of you new people to come in, learn what we're doing, understand the system, which is not going to take very long, and then ask questions to further your understanding, which is probably what we're going to do a lot of in the morning streams. Because again, you may not know. I mean, you have the learning curriculum videos. You get the full watch list of stocks and cryptos that are about to explode before they do. The daily private live streams at 9:15. The single stock. You get a lot in there. Z's, welcome, man. But that's really just what it comes down to. A lot of the time, the main thing that gets people in trouble in the market is that they think they know what they're doing and they don't. Or they think they're getting one over on the market. Like Dina is a good example where people are like, oh my God, it's ripping, I should buy it. And like I said in the Instagram video and the TikTok video yesterday, I was like, it's ripping up into the end of the day. You probably want to stay away from it. But it's a good example of like, okay, this is what we do. You get the entry here, it blasts up, and you're good to go. So I'm going to post a lot of videos, I think, on TikTok and Instagram today, too. Showing people some stuff, you know? But yeah, just keep asking questions. I'm pretty much always around to answer. Oh, I say this every day, and I should say it again today with all of you new people joining. Depending on your experience level with Discord, there's a lot of nonsense that goes on in the direct messaging feature. I will never message you on Discord. I will never respond to your messages on Discord. Even if you ask me in the live chat and you say, hey, SCV, I sent you a message on Discord. I don't care. I'm not opening it. Copy it, send it to me on Twitter, send it to me on Instagram. There are too many accounts that they can make look too similar to me on Discord, so that's why I don't use the messaging feature on there. So if you ever think it's me, it's not. I don't use the messaging feature on Discord at all. I won't use it. I'll answer on Twitter if you message. Yeah, pretty quickly too. I usually see those the fastest. It depends though. Like if I'm on Twitter, I'll see it. Oh, what's the market doing here? Nothing. I mean, I kind of like how it looks. Tonight, I'm probably going to go through all of the different scans and just see what we have going into the rest of this week. It'd be nice to be able to like hit another bread and butter setup here or get something going into next week. But really, the main focus is going to be on post earnings. That's really where our main focus is going to be. RKLB. Kind of see what you're saying here. This was kind of the really good setup that we saw in RKLB in the beginning of July. This one would need to flatline for a long, like at least another like week for me to be interested. And by then you're going to be pretty close to earnings. So I probably would just be leaving this one alone. Very strong chart though. If you're in off the 200 here, I mean, you're looking real good. You need to find a book on market psychology. See, Jerry, this is actually the most interesting thing about trading. And something that you'll notice here, especially with these kids that talk about day trading, the trading psychology, for lack of a better term, is bullshit. It's not real. It's not a thing that you need to focus on. Market psychology, none of that. Because here's why. And this is why like we don't talk about that ever. Think back to what I was saying before, that in order to have long-term success in the market, you have to understand when and why you're going to be entering, how you're going to manage the trade when you're in it, and when and why you're going to exit, which is effectively just understanding a system. If you understand what the results of a system could generate you over a period of time, well, then the outcome of one individual trade is meaningless, and it eliminates all of the psychological mistakes that you can make, because you're never going to be chasing, you're never going to be averaging down, you're never going to be buying nonsense trades that people are hyping up, because those aren't going to be following the system. And then people talk about, oh, I need help with risk management. It's like, well, if you think about it from the frame that I was just talking about, well, that's also taken care of by the system too, because it's telling you what to risk. It's just rule following. That's why when you guys ask me about like what about the retest or something or like buying the pullback, it's like I've given you guys the instructions and the recipe on how to bake a cake. In my mind, you guys sometimes saying stuff like that to me is like I give you the recipe to bake the cake, and then you're like, oh, but I'm gonna put when do we put in garlic powder? I'm like, what? Why? What? Hold on. Where does it say to even touch garlic powder? You shouldn't even have garlic powder. What are you doing? You know? It's like, why would garlic powder go in the cake? You already have the recipe for the cake. It doesn't say to put garlic powder in the cake. Why are we talking about garlic powder? You know? It's stuff like that. Mullen is up 20%. Yeah, it's the squeeze stuff's over. Does that make sense? Where it's like everything is just outlined for you. It's very simple. It's a very repeatable process. Once you hit a few crazy trades, I like that. I can relate as a systems engineer. Oh, that's very cool. Wall Street Bet said to add garlic powder. Yeah, they definitely did. But you have to see it too. You have to see it. Like you have to see the results of some of these trades to be like, oh, I just have to like if you don't risk like a moron, like you're just waiting around for one of those big trades to fire, and they will. Hi, wondering if your program would work for me. I don't trade options, just buy and sell stocks. Yes, Lori, so it depends. If you're thinking about like long-term, mid-term investing, I operate in the market a little bit differently than most people do. I have between probably 5 and 10 really high-quality ideas every single year, and I hammer them. I have conviction in the names, and I go for it. I don't do this like, oh, we're gonna buy this stock every week, you know. The one thing I will say is that for those of you guys that are trading shares, which I know a lot of you guys are, especially those of you guys that are in Europe or some other places where you just don't have an options broker, the risk to reward on almost all of these setups is better with shares than it is with options. The only reason why I like trading options a lot is one, the big runners and you can run up multi-thousands of %, and two, you're able to trade more of the setups. Because sometimes it will actually make sense, and this is going to sound like crazy to some of you guys, but the actual setup from where the entry is and where your stop would be based on what the chart is telling you would require you to full port, which I don't like doing. I won't do that just because like you still have gap risk. Like if you gap below a level, like you're not going to get filled at where your stop was. Let's see, Kylito. See, this is my fun thing too, Kylito, and this is why I used to talk about like the SMC stuff as being like complete freaking garbage. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, not to you, just like people in general with this day trading stuff. Like he's up 2,300 in 24 hours on a $500 account. With futures, it would take me weeks to get these kinds of returns. True. But also, you hit probably one of the best trades of the year so far. Like. But if you think about it, it feels like we've just been one-upping ourselves over the last 2 weeks here. Like Roblox was good, the 1,500% Oracle was good. We had that good stretch with like the post earnings with Dollar General 700%, Zscaler 800%, and then this week was just Kohl's 6,000%, and then the massive D-nut trade. So so going back to the psychological part of this, there is one part of it that we should talk about, and it is something that I talk about a lot, and a lot of you guys learned this lesson in the beginning of this year, is that there are going to be times in the market, it might be a month, it might be 2 months, it might be a day, it might be a week, where the market's just telling you not to do anything. And that's sometimes hard to do. Because in this environment right here, all of you are used to just like me outlining something, we talk about it, it turns to gold, you're up 1,000%. But that's what that less trades, more profits methodology is all about. When the market gets hot like this, we go for it. When the market starts to fade and settle down and not do anything, we don't either. we just sit back, relax, and wait. Yeah, obviously we're going to have the downside setups too, which are fun. But who's going to get the first 10,000% trade? I mean, if we were going to do it, it was probably this week. Well, Ben had the 8,000%er on Datadog. I know it sounds crazy, but like you guys saw them all fire off. Like you saw all these trades in front of you. We've talked about these on the streams. Like the Datadog, I'm pretty sure I gave you guys on the stream. This public one. But yeah, for those of you guys that still aren't in there yet, again, it's $1 a day to hop in for your first month. Use code July, and then you guys are going to be able to hop in. But remember, in September, so there, I just threw the link in the live chat there for you guys too. In September, prices are going to be going up. But if you jump in before September, you're going to be locked in at the lower monthly rate. So market's not really doing anything here. Bitcoin fading a little. What are yields doing? Bounced off the 200. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I want to check out the dollar here. Yeah, you could still be seeing this flight out of U.S. assets as we get closer to earnings season and the trade deadline and Powell. So this is getting a little interesting. 8,000 is insane. Yeah, I think my biggest percentage gain trade ever, what was it? You guys remember, back when I was still in college doing this with you guys, it was Facebook, I think. It was the earnings trade on Facebook, which there's a little bit of an asterisk on that one with the Facebook 5,000% because it was my strategy that I use. I don't really do it anymore just because the option chains are a little stupid. But it was the strategy that I used to actually play earnings. So it was 5,000% on the call side, which even though like the other side would have been, so it was basically like a 2,500% trade or something. You guys remember that one, right? The Facebook one. You guys hit that too. Nova recovering nicely. Dude, we were for a little while this week. We were financing both sides of the war on obesity. Long Novo, which I own at 62.50. I still love this name. I think it's very undervalued still. And Krispy Kreme. What are my thoughts on ES at the moment? I think it's just going to chop. You kind of have a volatility zone up here, though, which is interesting, which we haven't talked about a whole lot. You guys will notice, too, like, I just don't like the process of day trading. I don't think it's a smart thing for most new people to be doing. I think you're going to have a lot more success, a lot faster, more consistently with swing trading, especially the way that we do it. But you guys have probably seen me call some pretty nasty levels on the intraday on ES before. I just like it's way better. Like swing trading is just way better than trying to scalp for pennies on ES, man. Like you just don't have an edge. People think they do, but they don't. Still sitting nice from that 6,900% Oracle trade. STV is the truth. Jay, congrats, buddy. Yeah, that was one of the craziest trades that I'd ever seen. Swing trading is less stressful. Right, and people think it is. It is more stressful. They're like, oh, but I have to hold overnight. And it's like, but you predefined your risk. You know what your risk is going in, unless obviously you're in a shares trade and you get gapped, which is very rare. The last time that I got gapped, oh, actually, I think it was Dollar General, but it wasn't a crazy gap. The last big time I got gapped was last December on a firm. And that was it. It's very rare. Maybe once or twice a year I'll get gapped. Where like some random piece of news comes out and we're long and it just gaps. Usually though, the gaps are in our favor. Because the way that these charts are setting up, like I could say it like, oh, we're going to buy the stocks right before big news is coming out because that's what the charts look like. But that's just silly and wrong. It just tends to happen that way sometimes, you know? And again, for those of you guys, we have a 150 like goal on the stream. If you guys are enjoying the stream here, make sure you guys drop a like. Costs you nothing to do it. Helps me out a whole lot. If you're not subscribed, make sure you are. Have notifications on so you don't miss these streams. I do these at 10:30 every single day. On Fridays, though, I'm live at 9:15 because that's the big public live day. Let's see. YW? Oh, you're welcome. Gotcha. Let's see. What did Dave post in here? Ooh, 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 ooh. He loves his success. So, oh, boy. High. Oh, yeah, but that's high beta. High beta got hit yesterday though. And July is typically a time where high beta slows down anyway. Doesn't I think I've seen that. I think I've seen high beta slows down. We talked about that in the beginning of July. I was like, you were going to be a little bit cautious here, but we still came out and murdered it. Like, so, yeah, swing trading is a lot less stressful. You're looking at selling covered calls on Palantir, but don't actually want to sell it. Then don't. It's kind of then don't do it. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of the only thing I could kind of tell you there. Like, you know, just then don't. I mean, it's at a decent spot for it. Like, you could sell like the 200s for like January or something and probably be all right. Or you could do it on not your entire position. Like, if you haven't trimmed it at all and you just want to start selling some premium on it, I mean, I bet you could squeeze out some nice premium on that. Yeah. So Dave confirmed July is seasonally a month where high beta tends to slow down. I personally don't really subscribe to like seasonality stuff. And comparing prior time periods to current events, because like the variables are always different. But at the same time, I'm always aware of it. Like, you got to be aware of those things, that if things start to move that way, they can always be a self-fulfilling prophecy if everybody's looking at it, you know? HIMS is up 12%. Yeah, did you guys take that one? Yeah, so what we talked about on the morning stream today was, I mean, you could get something on HIMS at 53.21. I just didn't like the August option chain on it. James, I think it might have been you on the morning stream that was asking about this. Like, I would have had, if I really wanted HIMS, I probably would have had to trade next week's for the 65s and size it down. Like, that you might be able to catch something on. Oh, Kylito, that was you? Yeah, did you take that one? It's not a great setup either. Like, that was kind of, just been chopping around here. But this has been one that, if you've been paying attention to the YouTube videos, this has kind of been that 50-50 move where I was like, I'd rather this thing consolidate above this 10 EMA, but the problem is that when you see these giant gap downs, it messes with the moving averages, so you can't really give them that much like weight. So having this period of consolidation was good. It wasn't perfect, but we were outlining this 53.25 area for a potential break. I just didn't like the option chain on it. You know? You're up 85% trailing your stop on options. Trailing stops with options get tricky because it's probably a market order, so you can get sniped with those pretty quick. Like, if this thing just goes boom, like just rips down and then rips back up, you might get caught, which is fine. I mean, that's okay. But with this one right here, like, if I ever say like, oh, I'd have to go smaller size, less time, like, I'd actually probably sling it up to 64, 63. That's probably where I would look for it to go. You can just sit in it and wait. The other thing that is difficult sometimes is holding your winners. With Dina, I mean, that was running a little bit too aggressively. But that is, I think, a big shift that I've probably made over the years, is like being a lot more like open to just holding to targets. Like, I could be up 100% on something, but in my mind, it's like, okay, I'm just not going to let the trade go red now. I'm risk-free in my mind. I'd rather hold to the target where I could have a full-size position be up 200-300%, scale out half of it there, and then hunt further targets. And then if the chart doesn't look good, I just sell. You know. It's those asymmetric risk to reward trades, because at the same time, like, I could just sell everything at like trim everything at 100%, make it free, and still crush it. But on the, like, I would then have to do what we typically do, which is like cut things very quickly, like an Apple or a DraftKings. So the fact that we do that now, and then are also like really holding to these like pretty solid and aggressive targets that do hit very frequently, makes it very, very, very easy to obviously have a few losers and then have one winner just massively outweigh all of any potential losing trades that you could have. Novo's looking great today. Was Hims on the list today? It was not on the list today, but it was one that we talked about in the stream, and I don't know if it was on the list at all, actually. No. I've talked about it in almost every YouTube video and in the live stream. But again, it wasn't really one that I wanted anyway, so that's why it's not on the list. Like, it's just, like, the chain on that thing is just ridiculous. If you're pressuring yourself to make money every day, it usually doesn't go well. Yeah, trading, guys, is not a fixed income instrument. Anybody out there that's telling you guys to focus on making 1% a day, literally unsubscribe, block them, do not listen to them. They are leading you towards the absolute wrong mindset when it comes to the market. The market is not a fixed income instrument. If you want fixed income, go buy bonds. But I highly doubt that maybe a few of you guys, because we got a lot of you guys in here today, maybe a couple of you guys have enough money to nominally make a decent amount off of a fixed income bond, like bonds like that, but you don't. Your only job in the market is to just execute. It's just to execute the system. Good performance in the market is a result of good decision making. That's it. My only thing coming into every single day is like, how can I make the best decision with my capital? What is the best thing to do? A lot of the time, the best thing to do is nothing. What did I do? I see people all over the internet talking about 1% of it. I'm like, dude, stop. Because you're going to force people to be like, oh, I have to make 1% a day. I don't have to do anything ever. I'm not in a rush in the market. You have 3 days in a row where you don't make 1%. And you're like, oh, no, stop. All you're doing, you just have to look for high quality setups in the market. That's it. That's it. Quality over quantity. Like, think about it. If we did nothing in the market this entire month, and then we came out and hit D-Nut, you might be bored. You might be like, why isn't STV calling out anything? Or why does he keep saying things don't look good? Well, it's because, I don't know, maybe this is a hypothetical, but like, maybe they didn't. And then, oops, now something does, and you make a couple 1,000%. There you go. You can't rush it. And if you try to rush it, that's when things get a little funky. Like, there are some days where you guys frustrate me where I'm like, yeah, I don't really like it. I don't really want to do anything. And then the live chat is just filled with tickers. And I'm just like, guys, stop. Like, you're rushing me. Ooh, we are 30 likes away from 100. Guys, we're going to hit the 150 like threshold one of these days. We're going to get there at some point. Salar, welcome to the group, my man. Yeah, everybody that's hanging out in market chat right now, make sure you guys give a nice warm welcome to all the new people hopping in. We're going to get you guys up to speed and then see if we can do some more crazy trades. Try not to start asking questions until you've gone through the videos. Because like there's LYV. Like 99% of the time, your question will be answered in the videos. I just don't really want to do anything today, you know? It looks good. We've done some dirty work on this thing in the past. Well, actually, what's the chain look like? It's only up 0.68. Oh, they only have monthlies. So I'd have to cover earnings, and I don't really want to do that. Oh, and this chain is just cooked. Nope. Nope. No thank you. No thanks. Nope. Not for me. Not perfect. I'm very picky, if you guys haven't noticed, with where, like, what I want to trade. I look for more reasons not to take a trade than to take a trade. So it's going right now, but again, I'd have to then cover earnings. The implied volatility is going to be higher. I'm going to overpay for premiums. Even if it runs up to this 157 target that I would have as my first one, the options probably aren't going to be up over 100% unless you really sling like 170s, which I also don't really want to do. So maybe it rips, but I'm thinking about like what will happen like over a period of 100 times. Something like this will play out. LYV we've traded a lot in the past, and I mean, let me see if I can find one. Yeah, we've had some good ones. That was a good one. We've had some good LYV trades. We probably did it in here too on these moves up. So again, I'm also not looking to do I'm not looking to take every single position. I want the one that looks perfect. Everything aligns. The market looks good. It's got enough room to run. The option chain looks good for it. I'm looking for perfect. So let's see. Oh, you guys are following me on Instagram too. Hello. Welcome. Maybe TikTok too. I feel like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about TikTok. The TikTok people just want to see me day trade. Like, if I posted a video of me taking a day trade on TikTok right now, I'd get 1 million views. I've done it before. It's not very difficult. I don't know why they like that. It's probably because you have all these morons out there telling them that that's the way to do things. But then I post a video that's like, hey guys, here's this stock called D-Nut. And it's about a rip. And then you could make a couple $1,000%. And people are like, huh? What? HTZ looks good. Let me see. Yeah, LYV looks good there. You talking about Hertz? Oh. I mean, that could get a pump. You just got to, I mean, that could definitely get a pump here. This is probably why Hertz is pumping. It's because of all of the what do you call it? All of the all the Wall Street Bet stuff. I think Ackman owns this one. I bet this weekly chart looks really good. Yeah, that's a good weekly chart. Like, really good. I actually like that. Like, I'd actually look for it just as earnings coming up. Like, I wish earnings was like here, and then you could play it over here for like a couple months and then ride it up. That looks good though. I just don't really see anything today that I think is perfect to touch, you know? What a lot of, okay, so this is interesting too. What many people will do is like, the reaction they have to certain things in the market is the wrong one, and a lot of the time the proper reaction is the exact opposite. So one of those examples is when they see a stock rocketing, like a D-Nut or something, if they weren't in when I was outlining it, their idea is, oh, I should buy this because it's going to keep going. Well, the correct thing to do is either just leave it alone, which is not technically the exact opposite, or to look for the short position. In terms of what we've done over the last few weeks, if we see these crazy setups start to form, what a lot of people will do, especially, this is what I want you new people to avoid, is like, they'll be like, oh no, I want to do more and more and more and everything, more setups, more setups, more setups. But the actual thing to do is kind of take a step back and to just understand and make sure that you're doing the same exact things in the present going into the future that got you to that point in the first place. If it isn't broken, don't try and fix it. When they declared bankruptcy, yeah, they did do that. I can't believe Mullen's up. That's crazy. I'd like for Novo to get back to 70. I wanted a better base down here because I want to buy more of this thing. I want to start buying like $30,000 blocks of this and just boom, boom, boom. I don't know why I've picked that number. This is the number. I don't know. $30,000 blocks of Novo. Could be 50. I don't know. Oops. This is a pretty nasty 15-minute bear flag on ES. That's a pretty filthy bear flag on ES there, guys. Uh-oh. Solar, welcome, buddy, to the group. Yeah, welcome to all you guys hopping in today. We're going to get you guys up to speed. And remember, if the market slows down, you just wait. You guys all, I think at this point, know what we do when the market gives me my flashing green light. And it's fun. It's a good time. Yesterday was probably one of our most fun days in the group with Cole's firing off and D-Nut, especially after hours. I was sitting here, I was like, guys, I didn't think I was going to be trading after hours right now. I just saw it pump, like D-Nut pumping, and I was like, I got to get out of this. I like this chart, though. You know what? What's the weekly high? 844? I'll put an alert on it, just for fun. CCS moving nicely. Earlier this week? Yeah, I don't really like. I mean, it's just kind of basic here. Whew. Fun day, though, guys. Congratulations, everybody, on D-Nut. Like I said last week, I'm just going to keep doing this for everybody. I don't know how many more of these life-changing trades that you guys want to see. I'm just going to keep doing them. And it's going to be fun. It's summertime, too. The markets are hot. I love it. CC. Oh. Whoops. Sorry. Yeah, that looks good. Trying to get above 10. Again, though, A-Rock, a lot of the names that you send sometimes, like, they're just names that I typically wouldn't want to trade. Look good, though. Definitely a good chart. And for those of you guys that are hopping in, it's like the first step is identifying, like, what a good-looking chart looks like. And then after that is refining it to the ones that we actually want to take a part of and trade. XRP's back to $3. Ooh, is that stop area that I told you? I gave you guys the crypto ones too. Wait. No, it's not. Oh, yeah. Well, this is, I gave you guys this one around like 235, I think. It ran up. You had the 265 target. You had the $3 target and then all-time highs. And then what was I saying before? Just throw a stop at $3 and forget about it. That's a good option. From a trading perspective, if you bought it down here and you want to be long XRP, if that's what you want to do, you don't have to do anything with it. You're up a lot. Almost 50%. Slade, welcome to the group, my man. Made you look? Yeah, you did. I thought it was back to 3. Watch out if the market breaks 63.59.50. Coming back down to 3. It depends. It depends. If you look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin actually still looks fine. Yesterday, this one was looking a little bit iffy. moving to the downside there, but it's still flatlining above the 10. If Bitcoin comes back up and breaks 129.54, XRP will go with it, and it'll come right back up. If Bitcoin breaks down, then yeah, you're going to see XRP back at 3. Solar, I know, man. We gave you a nice shout out in here. 265. Yeah, it could. It could. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. I'll throw the link in here again for you guys, too. Make sure you guys use code July. It gets you first month for $1 a day. But again, for those of you guys that are interested, make sure you like hop in before September because prices are going to be going up in September. Not for you guys that hop in. You guys are all going to get locked in at the lower rate. Let's see. I mean, I'm really going to be picky, I think. Post earnings will be fun. When we start to see those start to fire off, those will be real good. But I'm probably going to be very picky, especially over the next 2 weeks, just because we have FOMC, which I don't really like to trade around anyway. We've got earnings season in general, which is going to mess with charts a little. And then we got that trade deadline coming up. So we'll see. Don't scare me with your positive Bitcoin outlook now. Well, all I'm saying is that they baited it lower, Mr. Chills, and they couldn't do it. So I would say give it a few days. It'll make its big... Bitcoin is brewing for a big move. Right now, it's 50-50 where it goes. Well, I'd say 60-40 up. 60 up, 40 down. MP, I mean, that's going to move a lot with the China, like, rare earth stuff. But, I mean, I can take a look. I probably wouldn't be looking much at this one. It's got a wonky daily setup. I see what you're saying, but this would need to look a lot cleaner for me to want to go for this, you know? But I am gonna do some hunting. Like tonight, a little bit tomorrow too. See if we can get some more high quality setups, especially with the market kind of flatlining. We'll be able to find a few. If I hunt hard enough, maybe I could find the next D nut. But like I said before, I think the squeeze stuff is done. Have seen many great moves. Is it really that easy? Chat, tell them. Tell them. Chat, is it really that easy? Is it? Is LTMP, the system that we have, is it really that simple? Is it? Chat, tell them. Apple invested in MP? Ooh, interesting. I think there's a delay. GC says, yup. It's simple and amazing. Yes, sir. Space Trader. There he is. Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's like easy. I mean, when you have hot markets, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yep. I mean, when you have hot markets like this, like, yeah, it is easy. But, like, the best way to describe it is very simple. A. Jenkins, just watch the videos. There he is. You're a new member. Took your D-Nut at 360 and left at 480. Good work. Good work. Yeah, we did that on the stream yesterday. I was out in the after hours pump yesterday. That's when I sold it. Less trades, more profits. It's more simple than it seems. Yeah, it is. So, again, that link is floating around the live chat. It's pinned to the top. It's the first one in the description. Make sure you use code July to make sure you get 50% off your first month. Again, you guys see the crazy gains and all this stuff. I could charge so much more for this. I want to make sure it's accessible to everybody. So it's going to become less accessible in September. Like, prices are going to be going up. But for you guys that hop in before, you guys are going to get locked in at the lower rate. My car guy? Hell yeah, dude. I really like the SF90XX. I like that car a lot. I like Pistas. I'm like a Ferrari guy. I don't really like Lambo. It's just like Ferrari's classier. I think my favorite Ferrari is actually the F40. I want an F40. I like Astons a lot too. I think a lot of social media has kind of ruined cars. Because, like, you just have these, like, classless influencers in the money space that are just like, ooh, look. And I'm just like, you get I hate to say it this way, but, like, you hear these individuals talk sometimes, and you're just like, ugh. Ugh. They have no idea what they're doing. Especially in the trading space. Like, they just don't know. Very materialistic. They're like, eh. I like old Porsches too. Old Porsches are pretty sweet. Cisco? Alfie brought that one up today. How's that looking? Yeah, it doesn't look bad. Rentals? Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're rentals. A lot of them are probably their cars. Leases. Could lease stuff. But because you can write it off. You can write off leases. But it's like also like, guys, I could go out and buy something stupid right now. But like like logically, I don't even have a normal car right now. I don't need one. I literally don't need one. Like, I have a really nice apartment, but like that's really it. Like, I don't need to, like, because one, I'd have to spend like, it's not about the money, but it's like $500 a month to park something that I'm never gonna use. The roads around here are not good. I'd have to go other places to use it, and it's like, well, like, you can't park it anywhere. There's no parking. Like, you can't pull up to a restaurant in Boston and park it. Well, it's actually not true. One place around here you can. But it's not like a place that I would want to go. It's like an overrated steakhouse. Why would I do that? Like, and I would just feel I'd be like, all right, what if I just ran out and just bought something, and then I'm just gonna stare at it? Plus, also, like, you guys see probably, like, let me see if you can see this. This is, okay, that's a boat right here. Ocean, you can see the water. The salt water is just gonna ruin a car. Like, no thanks. Oh, where's that AEO? I like that, actually. We were talking about that earlier. I like it. Not as much anymore. But that's an interesting one. What's the weekly look like? I might be able to get something better on this on the weekly. Like a better level. I don't like that weekly chart. But spy long move? Nah, I mean, that's just chopping around. But all right, guys, we went a little overtime today. What an absolutely awesome week it's been with everybody. So again, I'll throw that link in the live chat for you guys one last time, but it's pinned to the top. It's the first link in the description. What the heck is going on? Use code July. That'll get you guys in first month for $1. Sorry, dollar a day. Sorry, it's not first month for $1. 50% off your first month. But yeah, again, guys, great work. Everybody that's hopping in, first step, go through the Swing Kings course. Once you go through it, you're really going to be like, wait a second. You're going to feel real silly that this isn't how you were trading all along. And I think you guys have seen it over the last couple of weeks here, especially, just how filthy this stuff can actually be. So I'm really excited to see all of you guys starting to make some of these types of gains for yourself too. That's what we're here to do. I might get a YouTube video out for you guys today, but I'm definitely going to be doing some Instagram and TikTok videos for you guys. So if you're not following me over there, both of those are Short the VIX 1. I'll probably tweet a little too. Have a little bit of fun. But yeah, I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Public stream at 10:30. For those of you guys that are hopping in the Discord, you guys are going to get the private stream at 9:15. But other than that, let's keep doing what we're doing, team. It's not broken. Don't fix it. See you guys later. Peace.